Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today, counting down the days until WrestleMania, sitting here before work, drinking a cold one here. It's a hot day here in Sacramento, California. The sun is out. It's feeling pretty nice. If the weather keeps up like this, we're going to have a really nice WrestleMania weekend here in Santa Clara, California. We're going to have a ton of fun. We're going to be kicking back, but one of the biggest stories that was sort of talked about last night on Monday Night Raw was the sit-down interview with Brock Lesnar, where Brock was talking about WrestleMania 31 and the rumors coming out that basically Brock is going to be leaving WWE and heading to UFC. This was, basically what his interview was about, basically saying that you can't stop him. Before WrestleMania 31, Brock Lesnar was going to be your champion, and after leaving the WWE, he was still going to be your champion. He would take that belt to UFC, much like what Paul Heyman talked about on last week on Monday Night Raw, and from there he would unify the championship with the UFC title, making it the Brock Lesnar super title of the world. I don't know what they would call it, but I don't know. I think it's heavily rumored out there that Brock Lesnar is leaving. I think that they might just come to a passing after WrestleMania 31, where his contract is up and he sits in that free agent slot. I'm not 100% sure that Brock Lesnar really wants to go back to UFC fighting, where people are really trying to take this guy out, trying to attack his his stomach and his liver, all those vital body parts that were really damaged when he was sick a couple of years ago, which led to him leaving UFC and going back to WWE for the lighter schedule, where he could still make a great payday and not be in risk of, I guess you can say, killing himself. But the big topic about WrestleMania 31 is that Roman Reigns going versus Brock Lesnar at that championship shot. And there's been a lot of times when Roman Reigns could have turned heel, and there's been a lot of spots in Roman Reigns matches and promos that people have said they can see the Roman Reigns heel turn coming. People aren't really feeling Roman Reigns as being the #1 contender. They haven't been feeling him since the Royal Rumble, when it seemed that the world turned on the guy. Just because his name was not Daniel Bryan, and he did not have a huge beard on his face or wear red tights. Daniel Bryan was the guy that they wanted to see main event WrestleMania once again. They wanted, I guess, a rerun of last year's WrestleMania 30 show. And for some reason, because it's Roman Reigns going up against Brock Lesnar, they must throw everything out the window because they're not 100% feeling this match. One of the big rumors that's going around is that Paul Heyman will stay with WWE, become Roman Reigns' manager. People have seen a lot of things in these Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar promos. I apologize, in the Paul Heyman promos, with Heyman talking about knowing Roman Reigns' family, going back to the early days of wrestling, and that he's been with these guys and knows all these guys. Maybe Paul Heyman would take Roman Reigns under his wing, seeing that he is the future and that Brock is leaving the WWE. Then Roman Reigns would not have to go out there and deliver promos anymore. He could just sort of stand there in the ring, much like Brock Lesnar does, with Paul Heyman speaking for him. I really think that Roman Reigns is going to be the face of the WWE. He needs to be that good guy. He needs to push through the hate and see where they come out on the long run. Will the fans get tired of booing this guy when he's going up against Rusev, when he's going up against Seth Rollins? Who are they going to cheer out there? I mean, they can't boo everybody in there. They can't really throw trash at both of these guys like it's Batista versus the Big Show on that ECW taping back in the day. But I don't know. I don't think that if Brock Lesnar leaves WWE, Paul Heyman's going to be staying around, because I think that it's going to be double dipping to the point where Vince McMahon's not going to like it. I mean, definitely a lot of people think that Paul Heyman is one of the best things going on Monday Night Raw, delivering his promos week in and week out, saying that's the one highlight of the whole show, and that was really the only thing they liked out of the whole thing. Even when Brock's not around, Paul is really exciting about making you excited about when Brock is going to be coming out, but much like when Brock went through UFC in his run last time, he was a vital part of Brock Lesnar's team. He's going to definitely be at these shows that Brock Lesnar will be competing at. He works as sort of like this manager, guy that takes care of all of Brock's business, and Brock trusts the guy, so he's on that team. And now will Vince sort of likes somebody that's floating back and forth between both. I haven't heard anything really come out about AJ Lee. She's still in the company. She's still under contract. She's still one of the most popular divas that they have. But I don't think that really Vince likes the fact that she's married to the guy that they have an ongoing lawsuit against, the guy that walked out on the company and now is competing for the... I guess Vince McMahon didn't say that UFC was the competition, because he says the competition is anything that's entertainment in the world, whether if it's Disney, whether if it's Disney on Ice, whether if it's a concert. You always have money in your pocket. You always want to spend that money on entertainment. Are you going to give it to WWE, or are you going to give it to somebody else? So that's what he sees competition as. Not TNA, not UFC. It could be anything in the world. But I don't see the fact of Roman Reigns being managed by Paul Heyman. I think that's people looking for the easy way out. I think that WWE is going to try and find a way to push through Roman Reigns and try to make him the biggest star that they can. How long they keep the championship on him after WrestleMania. Who is the competitors that Roman Reigns is going to be going up against. It definitely, I could see Extreme Rules being a rematch with Daniel Bryan. Even if Daniel Bryan doesn't win the Intercontinental Championship ladder match, it seems like Cena and Rusev will be caught up for the rubber match from their feud. There's no way in the world I see Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns getting blown off after one show. What that means for the Money in the Bank briefcase, I have no clue. It's almost like it's not even a factor. I noticed that Seth Rollins had it last night on his walk out to the ring. It was the first time that I really noticed it in a long time because I was looking for it. But I don't know. I don't. Maybe they go to Extreme Rules, and that's what they do to cash in. That's going to be the April, and then he's got May, which would be Payback, and he has to cash it in before the Money in the Bank pay-per-view in June, or it's null and void. Even though the Brock Lesnar wasn't at these shows, wasn't at house shows. You know, Seth Rollins didn't go hunt this guy down in the woods when he was hunting bear or anything like that. And they should have done a promo like that. It would have been damn good. But, you know, we'll see what happens. But I don't see Heyman and Reigns being a team after WrestleMania 31.